Does anyone have a question? I have an announcement. I announced it the other day that tomorrow I have to have that eye treatment, and it makes it really almost an impossibility to have a class online. So there won't be a class tomorrow evening. There will be a class on Wednesday, and regular classes continuing the rest of the week. But the purpose of these classes, as I say all the time, is to develop the kind of inner strength that makes whatever you do during the day a class. Whatever you do during the day, opens you to learn something about yourself, to truly sit in front of life and let life be your teacher, so that every moment is filled with consciousness. And we don't have these, 24-hour lapses of consciousness that really keep us living in some kind of spaced out world. So that, the purpose of the class, as I say a lot, and will probably continue to say a lot, is to build that kind of inner life, that you cross the bridge from the class to everything else you do during the day. And all of it, in its own individual and unique way, is a class. It's teaching us to be more conscious, to be more open, to recognize that we have a great deal to learn in life, to defer to life, to teach us all of this, to defer to higher energies of the universe, teachers, gurus that are on the cosmic plane to come down and help us to grow. I mean, that's what this is about. We're not born on the earth, just to earn money and to have relationships and then just pass on and go. We're born here literally to learn how to transform the internal, dysfunction of humanity into an openness and and being receptive to receiving the teachings of God's wisdom. And this might be a hard thing to digest, but it's certainly a wonderful thing to digest, because it really comes back to a simple reality. I mean, it depends on each and every one of us, whether or not we do this kind of thing. It was so interesting. I saw a movie yesterday. I was talking about it in the other class as well. And I had seen this movie many years ago, and I liked it, So I went to see it again. It's called Godspell. I got it on Amazon or something. I was watching it. And it opens with a really powerful thing. All of these people that are living in New York City in jobs and, this and that, in the total chaos of New York City. the traffic, the noise, the yelling, the screaming, the everything else. And suddenly there's about 6, 7 of them, I think, that hear this higher word, this higher kind of inspired inspiration. It's in the form of John the Baptist who comes to them. And what was totally interesting in me, being touched by spirit, I thought was amazing. They just stepped out of their lives and they went to where they can be connected to higher energy in the universe. And I thought that this was something extraordinary, that it's something that almost every human being at some point has to do in order to, have a spiritual life. And it doesn't mean, we leave our family, we leave, it just means that something inside us changes. And we begin to listen profoundly to that voice of inspiration, that voice of spirit that really exists inside every human being. And then we begin to slowly let go of all the encumbrances, the things that are keeping us from being attached to higher energy instead of being attached to all the Maya in the world. I mean, the movie got a little silly and stuff, but there was some, the end was very good. But that section in the beginning was very moving to me because it really reminded me of myself, that I had to step away from the encumbrances that were keeping me from having a spiritual life. And all of the things, whether it was my family, it was friends, it was the work I did, it all came back, but it came back on a much higher level. Came back at a point in my life where I could embrace all of these things and love them unconditionally and really allow them to, instead of being encumbrances, they became an organic part of my life. I mean, it was very interesting to see that, and it touched me very deeply because I went through something really similar. And there was a part of me that had to say no to so much of my life in order to get a connection with God. And then all of it came back on a much higher level. Even the books I wrote, when Rudy said, I want you to burn your manuscript, it all came back. And came back on a level that I was incapable of functioning on when I was a young man. And what made it come back and what made it all come into fruition was a connection with spirit. Was that higher energy was now guiding my life, and it brought into my life everything I needed to work out in my karma. And it's still coming, everything I need to work out in my karma. I mean, I remember Rudy talking always, almost every class, about how we're so stuck in patterns and we're so conditioned to function in some way, certain ways. And all of it has to be surrendered. We have to let go of it. We have to let go of it because it's creating a block that keeps the energy of God from truly flowing through us. And whatever we really need, like our family, our work, it all comes back. Does anyone have a question you would like to ask? You know, this is a big test for everybody, what I'm talking about. And I understand that. And that's why it has to be almost done incrementally, slowly, releasing, letting go, you know, transforming the encumbrances and obstacles into Shakti, into energy inside ourselves. And ultimately, getting to a place where we are sitting in front of the real guru. We have gotten that training, and that's life. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? Okay, if there are no questions, then there'll be a class. The next class will be on Wednesday. And, you know, this has been also a month for me of all kinds of physical things. I don't think I've ever been through anything like this. You know, an ankle and teeth and my eye and this and that, you know. It's stuff that I know that in my heart of hearts, I have to overcome, take care of, so I can continue this journey that I'm on, which is opening every possible door that leads to spiritual enlightenment. And not blame my ankle, my dog, my cat. I don't have a dog or a cat, but blaming things, you know, I'm not there, you know. In my life, everything has always been a reason to do deeper spiritual work. At least ever since I met Rudy, even before Rudy. I just had no idea what I was doing before Rudy. I was trying and experimenting with a lot of stuff. And I had no idea really. And it took me into some very strange directions. And then Rudy got the direction right, you know? Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? All right, well, again, God bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, it's wonderful that you're all here. It's wonderful that you drag all this stuff out of me. It's wonderful that I listen to these things and that I can learn from them. And I'm very grateful to every person that attends these classes, because it's giving not only you, but me an opportunity to truly develop my inner life on a higher and higher level. So bless you and thank you. And there will be a class on Wednesday, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone. Thank you. Bless you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you very much.